child?
He was a very good baby. He was extremely good. You know what I mean? He'll wake up, have his, food, and then he'll just go back to sleep. You know, he was, that's what, we used to say that he was, such an angel.
Well, he's 4 years old now. He was developing quite normally up until the age of 2. He was talking, babbling on, and very social. And then all of a sudden, bang, something happened. He just became very withdrawn, speech stopped. He was just a changed little boy.
I don't think anyone, and I can say that myself because I don't have an autistic child, understands what it's like to live with an autistic child unless you have one. And you can sympathise and you can read every book in the world and you can watch programs, but to sit down at a table with someone when you say, I've had a difficult day, they know in context what a difficult day is.
And he went from being really lively and playing with my other son to nothing.
Giggling
really.
and just like a normal child, just a happy child, and just became sullen and sort of solemn.
Yeah, like he was just like, he wasn't there in spirit, he was just there in body.
Just like a shell.
There was times I honestly did not like her. I loved her to bits, but I just didn't like her. I just thought, what did I ever do to deserve this? I don't know is our life always going to be this difficult? Is it ever going to be any easier? Are we ever going to be able to go out in public? Are we ever going to be able to go out to dinner with our kids? And this man shouts at me across the sort of atrium of the shopping centre, for God's sake, why didn't you give him a good whack? I guess my advice to parents would be, don't give up. Don't listen to your doctor if the reaction was too negative.
It's a different way of thinking, processing, relating to life. Yes, there are some drawbacks because the rest of the world isn't like us, and that makes it hard, but we can still contribute, we can still have so much to give that's of value. I want people to listen because I feel that if they understand autism, the kids needn't go through, and the adults with autism needn't go through some of the pain and the distress that they do go through, which is my experience too. I'm a trained educator. I'm not supposed to be because I've got autism. I'm not supposed to be able to be a social worker, but I have the social work qualification. It's just I can't work as part of a social work team. And then typically, remember how you guys are not literal? Unless you trust people and believe somebody. In autism, we are very literal. So Mum takes Wendy to the doctor. The doctor says, hop up on the couch for a minute, Wendy, while I talk to Mum. All right, Doc, minute's up. Okay. And they just laugh at me and think I'm funny. But when I get quite cross because I've done what I've been told and the other people haven't. I feel lied to. I feel cheated, disappointed, and so on. When I was very, very small, and I thought everybody else was different. I didn't think it was me at all. I felt that it was everybody else, and I couldn't figure them out, and I was kind of waiting for them to become normal. I didn't like being closed in the house, and I'd always be getting out of the garden. I'd wander off to the ocean, so that was quite a worry for Mum. There were a couple of occasions when I was found on a sand dune, cut off from the rest of the shore by the incoming tide, and I hadn't noticed. I was very happy, focused on the waves. It has been a journey, And at times I didn't think I was going to make it. At times I didn't think I was going to survive. Whereas now I feel an enormous sense of feeling like I have a goal in life, something to contribute and do, which I really value. They see kids banging their heads, they see them having tantrums. Older people with autism get very distressed, they're pacing up and down and all these sorts of things. And it's seen as behaviour that needs to be modified rather than behaviour that needs to be understood.
We know one way or the other he will need support, that's for sure. We can see that. But how much support and what it is, it's hard to say, because he's only 8 years old now, so he's got a long way to go.
Very affectionate with you both, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I think he's affectionate to his carers, to his sister. Yeah.
He's a very loving boy. No. Hi. No, what's that for? No, no. No. Oh, I don't know why I did that. God.
I believe that all behaviour in autism is functional, and that a lot of what you see is actually because there's no other way that this young person or older has actually been taught or has learnt how to express what's happening for them. They actually don't have any idea about how their behaviour is impacting on you.
The kitchen. Oh, you've got a busy day at school today. You need to have breakfast. I've got 2 autistic children. Alexander is 7 years old and is in regular school, and Oliver is 5 and he's about to start school next year. So, Mummy, can you look Madeline? Can you look at Madeline? He was colicky early on as a baby till about 6 or 8 weeks. And then he thrived as a regular child until slowly the language development just decreased, and his eye contact decreased, and at the time we weren't aware of it until about the age of 2. And then suddenly we thought, he's talking a lot but not joining his words together. And other things. Yeah, don't let him irritate you. Don't let him irritate you. Well, you know he does it on purpose.
I think the first autistic child I met, I felt positively offended by, because here was this child and I was trying to be nice and friendly, and they were just ignoring me. And I sort of, our natural human reaction is to actually feel quite miffed when somebody behaves this way towards you. And it's a totally inappropriate reaction, of course, from somebody who has a clinical understanding. But I think very often an autistic person does evoke a very negative reaction in other people, because we are used to having a good social interaction with other people. And if you have somebody who doesn't smile back at you when you smile at them, or doesn't look at you when you're talking to them, you don't just sort of feel